Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my humble abode, and welcome to Everything Animated. Today, I'm reviewing the winter season of 2015. Some good, some bad, some dropped, some mixed. I'll tell you how it goes. First, I'm going to get the things that I dropped out of the way and give a brief description why. Absolute Duo was pretty much like Soul Eater, but not as good. I dropped it after the first episode and said, okay, next. I actually stuck with this one for quite a while before I got bored with it. I think I dropped it episode 8. And I get the premise. It's cute, it's witty. It had some really funny moments, but it was the same thing every episode, and I kind of got tired of it. It's a farce. I get it. Let's just leave it at that. No way I can pronounce that. And the first episode just basically said that it was going to be another one of them magical girls type of show. So I was like, nope, not going to do it. See ya. Probably one of the most disappointing shows of the year. Who makes a first episode 0, and allows us, it's basically just an OVA of the first episode. And then the second episode is episode 1, which is like, no, if you want people to get attached, you want to do episode 1 and then do the rest. Save the OVA for later. And I don't know, it just stuck with the same stuff we've seen so many times, the same stereotypical whatevers. And not only that, I just didn't care for the guy. The guy was just too gung-ho about making a video game. So it's like, I understand you have your dreams and you want to build upon stuff and whatever, but seen it done better with other shows. Samurai Warriors I just dropped because I never played the game and it wasn't interesting at all. This show I just couldn't get past how they were drawn. I didn't like the eyes, I didn't like the face, and I felt like it was going to sink into the whole magical girl harem thing again. And after 2 episodes, I was like, meh. I couldn't have dropped this show quick enough. The Testament of Sister New Devil. There's a scene where, I don't know, she's like on top of him and doing something weird, and it looks fucking weird, and it's like, really, you honestly believe that that's just like, oh, I'm sorry, that's an accident? Look, I understand there's ichis and there's all these weird sort of genres that make us want to do our sister, even though they're stepsister and everything, but please acknowledge what they're doing. They did it on purpose. They knew damn well what they were doing. So just be straightforward with us. We're not stupid. I didn't want to go through with this one. I knew it was going to involve a lot of lesbian bear fighting antics. And yes, I just said it that way because it is what it is. It's lesbian bear fighting antics, and I did not care to finish the rest. It was so weird the first time I saw the first episode. I just wanted to get it out of my head. Now on to the ones that I saw all the way through and what I thought of them. If it sounds like I'm a little weird, it's because I'm sick. I've been sick as a dog all day, and I just look like I'm fucking dying. It's terrible. I watched, of course, Parasite. I stuck with this one back since the fall 2014 season, and it was good. I didn't know how it was going to end. I heard this is a show that's pretty strong when it comes to adapting the manga, even though the manga was in the 80s, and they basically kind of modernized it, and they did a good job. I didn't notice, but I loved the whole conflict between animal and beast and what we are and who we become, and then they slowly become human, and we eventually become the parasites and everything. And it's neat, it's cool. I'd not say I'd watch this again, probably not anytime soon, but I was happy that I went through with it and saw it. Definitely give this one a shot if you're into something actually different. Assassination Classroom is still going on, but we're halfway through it, and it's interesting. It's definitely got a unique art style to it. It has everything going for it. You know, people try to kill their teacher before he destroys the world. It's like, okay, anime, you got my attention. Where are you going to go with this? And they just pull out all the stops. A whole lot of interesting different things happen, and it's just really neat. I hope this one doesn't suck as it progresses, so please, please do good. Probably one of the, if not the best, winter show of the season. Death Parade was amazing. Madhouse said, we're gonna give this to you, we're gonna only do 12 episodes, and you know what? We're gonna actually end the son of a bitch. And yeah. So thank you, Madhouse, for proving once again that you guys know your shit in the anime department. It was really good. It was based off of the little OVA Death Billiards, which I loved. And then I was so interested when I found out they were going to make more, and I was wondering where they were going to go with this, and I couldn't have been more blown away with what they went with it. It's not perfect. A few things, a little nitpicky here and there, but if those things were changed a little bit, this show would have been the most perfect that I've seen in a long time. Durarara Season 2. It begins, it ends, we're introduced to new characters, we're introduced to new situations, with a cliffhanger at the end of this season, and the next chapter won't be until July. So July is going to be a long wait, and if you love the first one, I think fans will like this one too. It continues the story. It's really neat. Gourmet Girl Graffiti. Shaft knows how to make some very beautiful looking anime, and at the same time they know how to make some very interesting kind of animes. This one's a slice of life. There's nothing too weird about it. These women, if the food was men, they would ravish themselves all over the males. Because the way they eat food is simply just, it's almost as if they're having an orgasm and they're just like, oh my god, I'm eating the best thing I ever ate in my life. But hey, to each their own. I don't think this show is doing any kind of food fetish. It definitely made me interested in some food that I've never heard of before, and different ways of eating food, and was different. But all in all, I just watched the show just because it was sweet. It's a sweet little show. Nothing special. Take it for what it is. It's still going on and it's still great. They're finally getting closer and closer to Dio, and I fucking cannot wait to see what happens. Can't wait to see Jotaro kick his ass from here to Cairo to wherever. But if you have not seen Joe's Bizarre Adventure, they have some shows that are kind of like recap shows where you could watch and you can catch up with season 1 and season 2. This is the 3rd season, so there's not really a recap for the 3rd season. So for that, you'd actually have to sit through some things. And they're not bad. You take them for what they are. They have some parts that are meaningful and some parts that are filler. It's a really fun show. I love this show. I wish it got more publicity. Cancoli. I freaking watched this show just to say that I watched it, and I know what's gonna happen. It's gonna start a brand new wave of cosplaying where they have these stupid ships and airplanes and arrows all over them, and I'm gonna see those at Phoenix Comic Con and Saboticon, and I'm just gonna be like, you gotta be kidding me. But Japan, like I said when I first watched the first episode, if they know how to do something, it's how to make a very original show. The show itself is original, but does that mean I enjoyed it and ignore the fact that everything is very cliche? No, I didn't care for that at all. But hey, what can you do? You can't get it perfect every time. Watch at your own risk. That's all I can really say. And of course, Kokoro Basketball 3rd season. This is a fun season, and it just finished with a really good match, and I cannot wait because the next match is the Winter Cup Finals, and this is going to be the most intense, most insane, at least I hope it is, match of the whole genre, and I cannot wait to see what they do with this, because they always make it look so ridiculously over the top, but that's what makes this show fun. Gonna see how that ends up, and I hope for a good finish. That was really what I thought of the winter season. Some surprises, some disappointments. Air conditioning kicked on. Some disappointments, but all in all, it was okay. Few gems that Death Parade I could probably, if there's nothing else that's good this year, I could definitely put that in my top 10 best of the year. Like, honestly, it's that good. For shows that are coming out in the spring, of course, I have High School DxD, the third season. It's also known as High School DxD Born, or as I like to call it, Bone. I'm fucking clever right now. Ninja Slayer, the animation. This is another Trigger show, and it's made, as a lot of people know, it's written by 2 Americans, but it's all going to be done in Japan. And all I can say is just shut up. Just give it a chance before you start criticizing. Ruby did pretty well, and that was made by an American, and now I see Ruby everywhere at freaking conventions and shit, so give it a chance. And of course, Nezukoi Season 2, another Shaft studio, and a whole lot of, who's the best girl kind of anime, and just all around fun. I hope I heard that they're not going to go with the love and romance this, and I'm like, you're gonna give us another 25 episodes and still have them not do anything? If that happens, I'm gonna be very upset, and I'm basically just gonna be very pissed. Plastic Memories. This is gonna be written and directed by the guy who did Steins Gate, which is great. This is an original anime, not based off of manga, video game, or anything. And I'm just looking forward to see what he's gonna do with this. The Eden of Versailles. That's a continuation of the Fruits of Versailles. And I'm gonna let my perv out and just watch this dark harem comedy thing, see what happens. I hope there's no creepy stuff that happens, because that would totally ruin the show for me. And last but not least, my teen romantic comedy snafu Season 2. When it comes to 2013, my teen romantic comedy snafu was one of the hugest surprises of the year. It was definitely in my top 5, if not top 3, of 2013. And it was incredible to see them take something as simple as a rom-com or a slice of life and just turn it into something with much more meaning and much more depth. And I hope to review that someday, because I really love the first season. I just hope that they don't screw this one up and turn it into a goddamn harem. They already switched studios, so that kind of makes me a little nervous. They still look mostly the same, even though a little different, but not too bad. Same voice actors though, so I cannot wait to see what Hachiman has to do and has to say, so I'm totally looking forward to that. And there you have it, folks, my reaction to the winter 2015 season. Write a little comment in the section below what you liked, what you didn't like, if you disagree with me, and as always, thank you for stopping by. Everything animated.